Hello friends, this is Raju Upadhyay, welcoming you in my channel. I am from CIMAGE College, Patna, Department of IT. So today I am going to talk about some another topic of different domain. That means we will understand today once you compile a program of C or C++ language, what are the different steps they follow during the compilation. So we will understand it in detail by going through this screen. So assume that you have written a program of C language or C++, and I have a file name called hello.c or hello.cpp. And once you give the command of compilation, so whenever you give the command of compilation, your compilation process goes through 4 different stages. The first stage is pre-processor stage. During this stage, your program is getting expanded into a source code, and it will create a file called hello.i. So this is the expanded file which we have got. Then the content of hello.i is getting forwarded to compiler. Then compiler will start doing their work. So compiler takes your program, which is written in high level language, it will convert it into assembly code. So your compiler will take input as hello.i, which is the expanded source code. It will convert it into the assembly language having extension hello.s. And since it has been converted to assembly language, it has to further convert to machine language. So in order to convert assembly language program into a machine code, we require assembler software. So through the assembler software, your program is getting compiled into your assembly code is getting compiled into the machine code, and it will create an object code. So once it is going to create an object code, it generates an extension as hello.obj in developer C++ environment, or if you are working in Linux or Unix environment, it generates an object file named as hello.o. Then finally, the fourth and final stage, it uses linker. So basically linker is used to link your object code into a single executable code. Take example, if you are developing the software, and while developing a software, if you have created 4 different program of C or C++, so obviously you'll be having a 4 different kind of object file. So linker is going to combine, it is going to link all 4 different object file together, and if required, in order to run that program, if need to have any library uh, file, so those library file is also going to be added through the linker. A linker is going to add all library component as well as all object file which already got created into a one single executable unit that is called exe. And finally, that exe works and we are getting output on the screen. Let's see with proper detail. So already we talked about this process, all 4 steps. So let's say if you have written a program of hello.c, and in this program you can notice we are having a comment line. The very first line is a comment line. Then we are having a hash include stdi.h. This is the typical program of C language. Or if you are writing in the C++, you can write it like IO string. And within a main function, we have written hello. You might write here macro also. So generally we write a macro by writing hash define followed by macro name followed by the constant value of that macro. So assuming that your program has comment line, hash include header file, one macro, and you have normal main function. So during the preprocessor activity, your comment line will be removed from the program, and the header file, as we know, header file is having the prototyping of all the functions which we can use inside a program. So that is also included as a part of our source code. And if you have written any sort of macro, so remember, I have taken the example, I have written hash define, followed by macro name var, and followed by a constant variable, let's say 10. So wherever you have written var variable, var macro name in the program, so all around places, your var variable will be replaced with a value that is called 10, which I have supposed. So during the preprocessor activity, three things are going to happen. The first is your all comment line from the program will be nullified. Second is your header file prototyping is going to be included and it is going to be a part of your program. Apart from that, your macro name is getting substituted with the macro variable value. And after doing that, obviously, it creates one expanded file that is called having extension.i. So let's see out here. We are having a code of your stdr.h file, that is a prototyping, as well as we have the main method. And we don't have your comment line, which was there in this raw program, that was this is a demo. So during the preprocessor, only this thing happened, and then your compilation will start in the second stage. During the compiler, obviously for the compiler, we are getting a file having extension I, which we got or it is being generated by during the preprocessor activity. So your file is getting carried down here. The content of the file is getting carried down by the compiler. So your compiler is going to receive the expanded file code and it is going to compile. And as I already mentioned, during the compilation, first of all, your source program is getting converted to assembly language. So during compilation, your assembly language code is getting created. So you can notice out here where my mouse is hovering. This is the assembly code which got generated. And that means my high level code is getting converted to assembly code. So in order to convert assembly code further into the binary code, we require assembler, because assembly code can be translated further into a binary code using the or object code using the assembler. So next step is your assembler is going to play a very important role here. For the assembler, the assembly code which we have got generated during the first stage of compilation. So this program has become the input to the assembler, and assembler is converting that assembly code into the binary code in terms of zeros and ones. And once it is getting converted to assembly to binary code, so finally it creates object file. So once the object file got created, so we have taken the example of software development, where we are seeing where we are assuming. So let's say we are developing a small software where we are having a three different program. So for all three different program, we are having a different object file. So this is the object file for the first program. This is the object file for the second program. This is the object file for the third program. All these object files are getting integrated together by the linker. So the responsibility of the linker is all object file which we have got. All these object files are getting combined together, along with if any libraries are required in order to run our application. So those libraries are also getting linked with this particular linker. And finally, linker is going to produce one single exe file. This exe file is having all objects file together as well as a library together, which combine them together to run a program. And so finally it generates the exe, and that exe finally we are running. So That's it for the day. I hope you understood it. What are the steps our compiler is following while compilation of C or C++ program. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked this video, and I'll be coming with the next interesting video by tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching this.